Here we are today, just outside beautiful Lewes Castle, down in leafy Sussex. I've been very lucky today. Obviously, you probably remember me building this bike a while back with the new SRAM Red Groupset on it, and I was quite interested to go for a little blast on it and compare it to the older SRAM Red Groupset. And luckily today, my lovely bosses are giving me the day off, and rather than fixing bikes today, I'm going to be riding this bike. So, got a nice day for it. It's not actually raining and the sun's come out, so let's go for it. Here we are, a nice little quiet road in Sussex. First impressions of it is good. Ergonomics in the levers is obviously very different. So the transition between the shifter hood and the top of the bar is really comfortable actually. Got a couple of little shifter toggles here as well on the sides. So you press these little buttons, it shifts for you, which is a nice little touch, which is new for these levers. The bar on this bike is actually designed by Zipp. Obviously Zipp is owned by SRAM. So they've designed this bar to be integrated with this lever, which is nice. There's a nice flat transition between the top of the bar and the actual top of the lever, which is good. The front shift, that's the elephant in the room with SRAM. Going from big ring to small ring is way better. And the front mech now actually trims. They've gone away from this yaw system. It is way better for me from a mechanics point of view. To get the front mech shift right can be a bit problematical. So thankfully, at last they've kind of looked into that and they have changed it. So that is a massive difference in my book. Shifters, braking, better, front mech shift, infinitely better. The shifting is really smooth and you can shift under load. So from a racing perspective, that is good. It's nice and quiet as well. The power dome cassettes on the rear cassette, they've actually got little rubber O-rings in them to dampen that noise. Now, you can run a 36 on this rear derailleur. If you do run one by 52 ever, you've got a little bit more scope there as well, just to widen your gear range. Still got a 10-tooth lower sprocket with a 36. Might be a little bit jumpy in places, but you're not lost that lower gearing. What goes up must go down. So I'm going to give these new brake levers a little bit of a test into this corner and see what it's all about. Right, stopped here for a bit of lunch. Had a nice little ride so far today, so it's all been all good. I haven't got wet, even though it's clouded over a little bit. Anyway, new SRAM. Right, so obviously touched quite heavily with this, with the braking on the new SRAM, and this kind of one finger side of it. Obviously they've moved the piston for the actual system, rather than being a vertical, they've moved onto a linear system, which has made this braking and the actual feel of it a lot lighter. And I've got to say, braking early on it, and the first impressions, even just riding in light traffic early and braking, way lighter. Almost feels like you've got no fluid in the system as well. You can, if you want to, brake just with one finger braking. From a mechanics point of view, uses the same syringe systems it used to use, which uses Formula Allen key at the caliper end to undo. Uses .4, again, really easy to bleed up, really easy to work with. Heat transfer is good in the caliper as well. I didn't find any massive heat build-up there in the caliper. No horrible noises or anything like that. And obviously being wireless as well, from a mechanics point of view, you don't have to worry about putting wires all through the bike or anything like that, feeding it through. You've only got to put one hose through the bike, through the down tube. And obviously with these bikes now becoming integrated at the front end, getting cables through the front end and getting cables through the handlebars can be a little bit problematical. I think the changes they've made to the new Groupset has been really good, and it definitely plays in SRAM's advantage. Obviously there's been issues in the past with certain things we talked about earlier about the front mech, but I think with the new Groupset, they've addressed a lot of those issues and made it a much better system. I think a plus for SRAM being wireless is for TT bikes going forward. So anyone there using a TT bike, you won't have any wires at the front end. They've got away with the blip box as well. So going forward, that's gone. The batteries are totally cross compatible. So you could put the rear battery in the front mech and the front mech battery in the back. I've been on rides before, people have forgotten to charge their batteries. And obviously you do a lot more shifting on the back, so they've ended up swapping the batteries around mid-ride because they forgot to charge it. Well worth having the app, and that way you can also check your battery life, but only look for any updates that might be online. Quite easy to follow a guide, which SRAM do on their website, about updating your shifters or your front and rear mech as well. Okay, furthest point of my ride. Managed to get here with the use of a Hammerhead. I don't live around this way, so putting the map on here was very straightforward. You can link the Karoo itself with the shifter buttons here on the left and the right hand side. When you buy the group set as well, you buy this as a bundle at the moment. So when you actually buy the group set as a whole, you get the Karoo in with that bundle as well, which is pretty good. I find it's really easy to use, really easy to navigate through. All in all, really easy, but I'm going to push on because it is starting to rain and I don't really want to get wet. I'll see you boys in a bit. Right, well, I've had a lovely day off today riding this bike around Sussex, but I guess it's time to go home. So I'm going to jump on a train here. I'll see you a lot soon.